Hello, amazing people! Welcome back to another episode of Dean and Gertie Explore World.
We're the Grant family, a family of 4, living, traveling, and exploring full-time in our RV.
In this week's episode, we ventured to Glen Rose, Texas, and explored Dinosaur Valley State Park and the Creation Evidence Museum.
Look and giggle.
Okay, hello everybody. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time, my name is Jeff. This is my lovely, amazing, and talented wife, Monica, and the stars of the show, Dean, the King of Beans, Dean, and Miss Gertie, Gigi for short. And we are Dean and Gertie Explore the World. In this episode, we are going to explore Dinosaur Valley State Park in Glen Rose, Texas, and the Creation Evidence Museum, also in Glen Rose, Texas.
Can you add us not laughing?
We really can't. We really have to run with that.
We're going with it, dude. Oh, okay, you sound like a dinosaur.
So Glen Rose, Texas is a small town in the middle of Texas, would you say?
Central Texas, yeah.
It's a cute little town. I didn't know really what to expect from the state park or from the RV park. It was kind of a last minute stop for us. We got a spot there.
And we weren't expecting to get in there, and we, by happen chance, were able to sneak in there. And it was an amazing experience. It was truly humbling to be able to walk in those dinosaur footprints. And I guess without further ado, we're just going to jump into this one, and we're going to talk to you as we go. So one thing that I really did like about Dinosaur Valley is that they had some of these dioramas and some of these diagrams that kind of explained what was going on and why there were so many dinosaur footprints in this one location. It used to be, correct me if I'm wrong, like an ancient seashore or something like that, where the dinosaurs used to like mingle and roam there on the edge, and then those footprints then filled with sediment and then eventually turned into rock, and then over the next million or so, however many millions of years, some of that sediment started to kind of wash out of the footprints. In this particular riverbed, it goes dry quite often, and so then they were able to excavate some of the areas and find some dinosaur footprints. Again, I'm not an archaeologist by any means or a paleontologist, so bear with me on some of that information, but so essentially we kind of walk down into the valley, into the riverbed, and we get to kind of explore.
Yeah, it was really fun to see the dinosaur footprints in real life and not just in movies, because in movies it's like they're not real, but I think I'm real. They're real, but really, they're actually real, and I actually get to see that dinosaurs were actually alive, and I'm like, dream come true, thank you!
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I mean, almost instantly when we were down there, it didn't take us long. We stumbled around in the creek bed for a little while, trying to, get to where we needed to go. The entire river bed there was, what do you think, Bonnie? Like
massive, like
2 or 3, 4 miles or longer, that you just walked this riverbed, and then
you could literally spend 2 whole days walking the riverbed to see it, and then 2 whole days back to the campground.
I don't know that it was quite that long. I think that might be a little bit of an embellishment, but it was a little bit of a walk up and down the riverbed, so you could see multiple footprints. They had, I think, 2 or 3 areas of footprints that were laid out on the map.
But there were way more than that.
It was super cool. You guys should go there yourself.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of footprints. There was just 1 or 2. I don't know.
These are Brontosaurus footprints, and they were so big. You can kind of see the mud cast that comes up around their kind of footprint there. But they were so big, in fact, that Gertie and Dean could literally sit inside of these things.
I could actually just sit down in the Brontosaurus footprints. That's how big they were.
They were like a little jacuzzi.
Yeah.
That's how big they are.
Brontosaurus, Brachiosaurus, whatever you want to call them.
It was interesting, too, to see like their stride, how big their stride was, which gave us kind of a scale of how big the animal was itself that was walking. I mean, you could literally walk in their footsteps in this riverbed and see, like, it took me about 3 steps to get to the next footprint. It was
or more.
Insane.
And some of those Brontosaurus footprints, like, it was like 10, 15 steps between, because you would see these giant holes and you weren't really sure what they were. And then you would see the cast like coming up around the edge of the footprint, and then you'd go down about another 10, 15 feet, and you'd see 2 more, and then you kind of put it together that's where he was kind of stepping, and it was it was really kind of taking you back a little bit once you kind of realized what you were standing in, and
if you don't know, most dinosaurs don't have their legs. Most dinosaurs have their legs, like, together. So it's like Velociraptors, they step 1, 2, 3. There's like 10 steps in one step, just right in front of each other. But Brachiosaurus, they have this limit to have their body fat hanging down. So it's like 1 step, 10 seconds, 10
feet, another
feet
step,
away, and then another step, and then another step, and then more.
Yeah. Because
they're so huge that their footprints...
So we were there during a rather large drought, but there were 2 little like swimming hole areas that still had water, but not very much. But when it rained, then those would fill up and it would push the water down the rest of the way, which is why I suggest if you do go there, bring some paintbrushes and a couple of other maybe little, cleaning tools, small broom or something like that, because you can sweep out the dinosaur footprints. We had no idea that you could just walk down there and literally be in them. And we figured, the park would have them all cleared out and you were doing whatever. But no, actually, a lot of these, like us and several other people got there early in the morning and there was dust and debris and sticks and leaves and all kinds of stuff. So we were kind of cleaning them out and getting down there. This is a pretty cool one where it looks like maybe a double step, like he was stepping one way and then turned around.
Yeah, and it's definitely interesting as you walk through the riverbed to talk to the other people that are there. Kind of everybody gets that little giddy 8-year-old Dean attitude of exploring the riverbed, so it's kind of fun.
Also, be aware of claw marks, because when the water came on there, the dinosaurs tried to climb up on the top, but they weren't strong, so they fell in the mud. And one of the pterodactyls, some of the pterodactyls or the flying birds actually hung on to the thing. If they didn't want to fly, they hung on to the ground. Scraped little corners.
I'm not really sure what you're talking
what he's
about
saying
anyway.
is there are some of these footprints, and I'll see if there's one coming up here in the video. I think there is. But basically there was a lot of birds that would swim too. And so what would happen is some of these tracks weren't necessarily footprints, but they were paddle marks from the webbed feet of the bird that was swimming.
Yeah, so there's like little claw marks on the ground.
There's a Brontosaurus footprint, and you can see around the edge there. This is a good one where you can see the cast like coming up from where the footprint went down, and then the mud came up around the edge of it, and you can see all of his toes here, like all 4 of his knuckles. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool walking inside of the footprints. my dream come true right there in my life. Dream come true.
He always would want to like actually go and see like real dinosaurs, real footprints. That wasn't me. I didn't really
She
want
wants
to
to
do
go
that.
sniff unicorns.
But did you have
No.
you had fun
Yeah.
when you were there though, right?
Yeah. Super fun.
It was
It was
really,
cool exploring.
Yeah. What's up there?
Can you
Also-
imagine being next to a big animal that size?
The T-Rex was probably massive.
I'd probably befriend the T-Rex and Velociraptor. And if I had a bully, I'd say, "Go get him, Chopper."
So there was also these little. There's one of the footprints that we were talking about with the birds. So that was actually like a swim print, where the foot would come down and scrape the bottom of the mud. There were also several offshoots of this river, so creeks and other inlets that would come in that we also were able to explore, and you could walk up in there and you found more footprints up in there. So this place is absolutely just riddled with different kind of dinosaurs footprints, big ones, little ones,
That's
teeny
m-
tiny ones.
That's their hands, just to show you the scale of how big those footprints are. Sometimes it might seem silly, but they were massive.
Also, there's a little staircase up to
Well, you could kind of, this is
Nice.
where I was saying you could go up into other little tributaries that came off of there. So we had to do a little bit of climbing and a little bit of hiking into another creek area that came into the river. And they do have some signs and some things up that do tell you where you need to go. Or if you go into the main ranger station, they have a map that kind of gives you an idea of where a lot of the tracks can be found. But it doesn't take a whole lot of searching to figure it out. I mean, you get into some of these areas like this where
I think it's called the Grand Ballroom or something
it
like
is,
that.
yeah, you're right, the Grand Ballroom. And there's literally thousands of foot. It looks like they were just running around all through this place.
and if you look really closely at like some footprints, you can actually see a little bit of the claw marks that dig into the ground.
Yeah, you
Of the
absolutely can. You
toes.
can see their toenails. You can see their
the
foots.
toenails dig
and you can
into
see
the ground right there.
Different kind
can
of
see.
dinosaur. So this is a different kind of dinosaur than that one. And sauropods and
Herbivores and carnivores and
Yeah.
Some of the things were so like fragile that they had to keep them in glass. So like
yeah.
dinosaur footprint with a man footprint like that. You couldn't
that tells you
touch.
that man
Yeah.
were alive when dinosaurs like. If you're
Yeah.
not religious, how would you explain us?
So yeah, there were that kind of got me there, Dean. I don't know where you're going with that one, but that's for the next part of the video. So anyways, that kind of rounds out where we were for Dinosaur Valley. Hopefully, the Dinosaur Valley State Park. It's an absolutely amazing, beautiful place. There's so many dinosaur footprints of different sizes and characters there, and literally thousands of them. So if you ever get a chance and you're in Glen Rose, do yourself a favor and stop through there. All right, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed that one as much as we did. We absolutely loved Dinosaur Valley State Park. The ability to kind of walk through that riverbed and be able to see all of those dinosaur footprints.
It was just the experience for me. I love dinosaurs. Don't get me wrong. I watched the Jurassic World movies 1 through 2 to Camp Cretaceous to the new one, and all all the Jurassic World
500
movies and
times.
stuff 5,000 times. I'm a huge fan of dinos, and just seeing the real life footprints just meant a lot to me. Like, I'm like a kid. I was 5 years old when I started getting into them, and I'm like, I wish I could see brachiosaurs and velociraptors and all the other dinosaur footprints.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. And so for us to be able to walk around and do that stuff, it was pretty awesome, right?
Because most
Gertie got to sit inside of a brontosaurus footprint. Can you believe how big that footprint was? You were literally sitting inside of it.
I could actually just stand there in the wind.
Yeah.
What
It was
did you guys
pretty
think of it not being behind glass and actually being able to touch it and kind of
I liked it. I
See
liked
the
it. So
scale?
I didn't have to like touch the grass. Like be like
Yeah, I thought that was one of the cool things about it is when we went there, we weren't sure what to expect, but the fact that you were literally walking in that riverbed, that dried up riverbed, stepping in the footprints. Now we did take a brush and some paintbrushes and some things like that because we had to like sweep out there were rocks and debris that were inside some of those footprints because it does rain and debris and sand and stuff does fill up those footprints. So if you're planning on going, I recommend taking a couple of paintbrushes and some things like that so you can just kind of sweep out the footprints, get some good pictures of them, and I don't think you'll have a really good time there.
It was really, really interesting to me.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Me sitting in a Brachiosaurus footprint and seeing all that.
It definitely was hot though.
me.
Take your sunscreen, take some hats, take your
A water bottle.
sunglasses, water. The park itself isn't very big, but the experience that you have when you're walking in those footprints
It's big.
it's pretty immense.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think I was expecting maybe one or two footprints, but the overall scale of how many footprints are there was pretty
Yeah, I mean,
cool.
literally thousands.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
So yeah, with that said, we'll kind of convene on that one, and we'll talk about the next part of the episode here. We went to a museum that we weren't really sure that we wanted to go to at the beginning, but I'm really glad that we were able to go to that and see it. It was called the Creation Evidence Museum, and do you want any input on that, or you just want to kind of jump into it and we'll kind of talk about it as we go?
I wasn't really sure what to think or make of it. I don't know that I really still do know what to think or make of it.
Yeah, I would say like I don't sway one way or another. I really like to absorb all of the information and kind of make up my own decision. So I'm definitely not going to force my agenda on anybody for this one. There is a lot of questionable.
Let's just put it in a short way. There's a lot of religious stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks at how the world was back in biblical times and talks about the story of the Bible and the story of Christianity. The interesting part is that it allows you to see what they're talking about in a scientific perspective. They do have some really interesting artifacts, some very interesting fossils that I haven't seen anywhere else. They've got eggs and different kinds of fossils that are really interesting. They also have a hyperbaric chamber that they do experiments in, and that's interesting to learn about. So, take it however you want to, explore however you feel comfortable, but it's always interesting to realize that a coin has both sides, and if you can look at all of your experiences in a very well-rounded way, it kind of gives you a good perspective on life.
Yeah.
And I think that that's important. I'm not going to say that any one point of view is right or wrong, but we did absorb some information and saw some pretty cool artifacts.
Well, let's jump into that one and share our 2 cents, and we'll kind of go from there, and we'll see you in a minute. So here we are at the Creation Evidence Museum, and it is definitely a unique adventure. And if you get a chance to check it out and you're kind of open-minded, I would definitely recommend stopping through here. There is a little bit of information about the area, and again, where kind of things lay in Triassic, Jurassic, and
Cretaceous.
Right, all of those periods. They have a really cool diorama of like how it how it scales and how deep some of that stuff is. So it puts it into a really good perspective. They have a lot of really cool artifacts that are from that area. That one that we just saw there was a Brachiosaurus inside of a Brontosaurus footprint, which was kind of cool. And then this kind of puts it into relation, like how big those animals really were.
That is a skull from a Brachiosaurus, I think.
Yeah.
If I saw a real life T-Rex that was alive, I would scream and just run.
Yeah. There's a pretty cool dinosaur fossil. They had a couple of eggs where they had done like an X-ray, and they are sorry, what do you call it?
Scanning
A scan, and they had seen that there was actually a dinosaur in that egg.
Yeah. It was really cool to actually see that dinosaur. There's actually a dinosaur in that egg. I'm like,
They had some interesting artifacts. They had some interesting fossils. They also did they had a hyperbaric chamber that they did experiments on different things with. They talked about kind of how the Earth would have been all those many years ago, and then tried to recreate that using that hyperbaric chamber. It's quite interesting to go and talk to the volunteers and the people that work there. Regardless of how you stand on evolution, creation, or religion, it's interesting to go and see the other side of maybe a differing view. They do have some interesting artifacts in there. They do have some interesting pieces to look at. And even if you're not into fossils per se, they also have some artifacts upstairs that have nothing to do with dinosaurs that just talk about eras in the past. So it's definitely interesting to go and take a look at.
Yeah, they had some other artifacts that they had found from the area, some pottery, some really old coins and Bibles, some really old Bible material there. So
and things from different religions. They had things from the Jewish faith, from people that were in the Holocaust.
and as you can see there, back there was a fossilized fish, fossilized shrimp in the stone, and some shells, conch shells, and other shells from the late Cretaceous, I think.
yeah.
And there's a fossilized leaf. And I think that's a bones of a pterodactyl.
For me, I do not know what that is. They might tell you what it is, but I didn't see it, so.
Yeah. Well, they had this really cool laboratory set up there, and you could see the scientists and the doctors that were working there literally doing under microscopes. They had these microscopes where you could see bacteria from back
There's
then,
like this
and
huge
big screens.
3 TVs up here, and as you can see there, a human footprint.
This is where you kind of get into some of the, I guess,
Believe it
somewhat,
or not.
believe it or not is a good thing, Gertie. Yeah, some of it's semi-controversial. Some people believe that some of this stuff is hokey and hoaxed, but you can see that they have fossilized humanoid footprints, and these footprints are massive. By the
They're
way,
not
you're
like
talking
average human. They're huge compared. If you compare your dad's feet to those, your dad's feet has to be like smaller.
yeah.
Because if they human in the air,
This one here is
They
probably
made
the
them
most
huge.
controversial of all the pieces they had there.
Is that
They
the
had-
Elvis Delk track?
they have.
This was found in July of 2000 in Stephenville, Texas, which is about a mile north of Dinosaur Valley State Park. It is a controversial topic. It is something that people question and kind of debate over. So whatever side you want to stand on, it's kind of interesting to take a look at and see somebody else's point of view.
They had all the statistical data. They've had this thing scanned and
Researched if it was real.
yeah.
It was real,
That is
What's that?
Noah's Ark from, and they say that they actually brought dinosaurs on that ark, as you can see right there. So
You can believe
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
you can believe whatever you want like you don't have to believe in what's in there.
It was quite interesting to take a look at that too, and to discuss with the people there. And they thought that maybe some of the larger animals would have been brought over as babies or eggs, even. So it was interesting. I'll give them that. It was interesting. I don't know if they swayed me one way or another, but it was.
They did have some really cool items, like this one, the fossilized human handprint that dated back to the same time frame as some of the fossilized footprints that we were walking in.
This one was my favorite thing. The raptor. They used it in the Jurassic World movie. It's a real prop that they used in the movie. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the museum.
Yes. We hope you enjoyed our experience at the museum. And I hope that it invites you to have those conversations and to think about things however is most convenient for you. I mean, there is no right or wrong way. None of us were there. So,
right. I mean, obviously, we would love to hear your perspective. Feel free to drop it in the comments. Obviously, we don't kind of sway either way, but we wanted to share our experience and share the things that we saw there and what we were told. And, Dean and Gertie had fun. We got to see... as we kind of talked about, we got to see the dinosaur footprint with the human footprint over top of it, which is probably one of the most...
it's a very controversial one.
It is a very controversial piece. There's the Ark, Noah's Ark, that had dinosaurs on it. That was another controversial kind of thing for us. But Dean, what'd you think about the museum itself? What'd you think about it?
It kind of the first part of it was cool actually, because the back rooms. I want to hold a fossil. They actually got us to hold a fossil, and they actually found an egg that actually had a dinosaur in it when it flooded, and the dinosaur is still in there, but it's not alive.
Yeah, they were able to do a cross-section scan of that egg, and you can see the dinosaur in it. There was another really cool thing that we kind of did a real quick pan on, but there was a fossilized
dino
snake, rattlesnake. And remember that one? It was kind of coiled up, and in there you'd have to kind of track back in the video a little bit. It's when I'm kind of scrolling through the case there. They had a fossilized rattlesnake, which was pretty cool. I thought it was cool how it was still kind of coiled up. I don't think I did any justice for it in the video, but Gertie, what was your favorite part of the Evidence Museum? They had the Jurassic Park.
I think mine was like the raptor.
The raptor?
Yeah. I think I don't really like dinosaurs that much, but like it's kind of cool. It's cool, but
it's not Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
Maybe
one day we'll go to the Barbie Museum and we'll have to see what's going on there.
You better go.
Yeah.
The Jurassic World section. We do a unicorn center.
A unicorn center?
Yeah. The Jurassic World section. It was really fun for me. As you could tell from the beginning, I'm a huge fan. So getting to actually see those real life props from the movie in the case. I'm like, they actually got it?
Yeah, that was
oh
pretty
my
cool.
God, I don't have to see it in a movie. I see it actually in real life, right in front of me.
Yeah.
And they have a blue statue right next by it.
Yeah.
And there's a huge banner of what you see in the first movie that says
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Jurassic Park. Up there.
Yeah, so anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed that trip down, I guess, the History Lane as much as we did. If you're ever in Glen Rose, Texas, definitely make Dinosaur Valley State Park and the Creation Museum part of your must-do list. There is an amazing campground there, too, right there at Dinosaur Valley State Park. Dinosaur Valley Campground.
RV Park. And I would just like to shout out, they are super nice.
Yes.
It is an extremely friendly park. It's an extremely nice park. It's flat. Surfaces are level. New bathrooms.
We did a
was-
short. We did a YouTube short on it. So if you want to go back and kind of check that out, we invite you to do so. You can kind of check out
also-
that campground.
For the Creation Museum, you have to. It's in the campground, but you have to drive a little ways to it. But
It's down the road.
It's down the road
place-
from the campground.
the dinosaur footprints, that's through a walkway. It's like the walkway is
river where
really,
the
really
Yeah.
long.
Footprints are
You can
behind the
access
campground.
the footprints from multiple areas.
But
We talked about that already in the
The
You
video.
don't have to drive. You just walk right next by it.
But if you are
It's on
in
the side.
if you're in Texas, if you're heading through Texas, if you're in the area, definitely stop in. It's worth the time to check it out and to walk in the prehistoric footprints and just get your mind blown a little bit.
Absolutely. And I know Dean wanted to touch on this one, but we didn't have time in this video. But there is a dinosaur world, which has got a bunch of
Stay tuned for part 2.
statues and giant lifelike dinosaurs. And we're gonna.
And there's also dinosaur fossils. Actually, real fossils. Dinos.
There were scary dinos. We'll do that in a separate episode for y'all at some point. Again, thank you for joining us. Dean and Gertie explore the world. Don't forget to
Like and subscribe. We have a mission.
What's the
We have a mission. Find the centibite.
the what? The trilobite.
The trilobite in
Yep.
the front of the cover in the caption.
If you can find the trilobite
We will
hidden
send
in our cover photo, we will, whoever the first one is, will send you a special gift.
If you
so
find it second or third, whoever finds the trilobite will send you a postcard or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be first.
yes, it
We'll
does.
send. No.
Yeah.
The first person who does it gets something special, but the second person and third person, the first person that finds it first gets something, a special prize.
Okay.
And
Perfect.
something that
All right, you heard it there. Dean's gonna give away his bedroom, and you all can join us. So thank you.
No, Dean's not giving away his bedroom because it's also mine.
Oh well,
If you want
sorry
to
for
see
your
the
luck.
idea,
sorry for your luck.
Spill
All
the
right.
tea.
Again,
I'll take
thank
out
you.
of my room.
Thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we do. Dean and Gertie explore the world. Signing out. Jeff.
Monica.
Dean and Gertie.
Peace, y'all.
Peace, y'all.